This video is to show you the 3 new reports for the 2017 longest day. New this year, we have the registration report, teams report, and then also the longest day transaction report by chapter. So let's see where we should run these reports. First of all, go into Luminate, and then make sure that you are in your chapter center. If it says all centers, switch to another center. Now you are in your chapter's dashboard. To run the reports, go to Data Management, click Reports, scroll down to Custom Reports and click the plus sign, and then you'll see the 3 new reports down here at the bottom. Let's go through each one of those. First one's going to be the 2017 longest day registration report. Click Run Report. Now it will be queuing up, and you can just click refresh this page till you can view it, print it. Do it again until you can download it. Once in the action items that it says download, go ahead and click download, and you can open this up into a CSV file. This report will provide you with a list of all participants across the country, along with their registration information and fundraising totals. Participants are assigned a chapter based on the zip code they provide during registration. To identify participants that belong to your chapter, download the report and open it in Excel. Click on cell 1A and hit Control A on your keyboard to highlight all rows. Click on the Sort and Filter menu and choose Filter. You will see a down arrow at the top of each column. Locate the column called Participant Chapter Affiliation and click on the arrow. A list of chapters will appear. Uncheck Select All, then find your chapter in the list and click the checkbox next to it, then click OK. This will filter the results to only show participants in your chapter. You can copy and paste this data into a new workbook and save it for your use. To do that, go over to Control Home, Control A, right click, hit Copy, go to a new sheet at the bottom of your Excel, and then hit Control V to paste that in. This will filter the results to only show your participants in your chapter. So uses for this report. 1. You can see all participants in your chapter and obtain their contact information. 2. You can identify which participants are fundraising and how much. 3. You can identify a participant's team and company affiliation. 4. You can identify what activity the participants are doing. 5. See if a participant has updated their page, their goal, or sent emails. 6. You can see if a participant in your chapter belongs to a team in another chapter. And 7. You can run the 2016 report to see participants from last year and invite them back. So these are all the things that you can do with the registration report. So now let's run the longest day teams report. Go ahead and go back into Luminate. Go to Data Management, click Reports, Custom Reports, and now let's run the Teams report. Go ahead and click Run Report. Refresh it until it's able to download. Go ahead and click Download. This will then open up into a CSV file where you can filter on this also. So this report provides a list of all teams and events across the country. While the registration report shows all team captains, team members, event host, and individual participants, the team report will show summary information for the team or event, as well as the captain and the host registration information. Team and events are assigned to a chapter based on the zip code provided by the team captain or the event host during registration. To identify teams or events that belong to your chapter, download the report, open it in Excel, and then click on cell 1A, hit Control A on your keyboard to highlight all rows, click on the Sort and Filter menu and choose Filter. You will see a down arrow at the top of each column. Locate the column called Chapter Affiliation, then click the down arrow. A list of all the chapters will appear. Uncheck Select All, then find your chapter in the list and click the box next to it, then click OK. This will filter the results to only show team events in your chapter. You can copy and paste this data into a new workbook and save it for your use. Go up to Home and hit Control A, right click, hit Copy, go to a new worksheet, hit Control V, and now you're able to use this data. So uses for this report. 1, you can see all teams or events in your chapter and obtain the captain or host contact information. 2, you can identify which teams and events are fundraising and how much. Number 3, you can identify a team's chapter and company affiliation. 4, you can identify what activities are being done. 5, you can identify if a team is returning from last year. You can also run the 2016 report to see teams from last year and invite them back. So now let's run the longest day transaction report by chapter. You can either go to Data Management or in Reports, or you can just go back to Report Classic, down to Custom Reports, and then click on the longest day transaction report by chapter. Unlike the registration and team reports, this report will automatically filter to only show your chapter's results as long as you are in your chapter center in Luminate. So remember over here, I am in my chapter. If it says all centers, switch to another center. Then you want to click the drop-down box and click on 2017, the longest day. Then click Run Report. Click Refresh until you can download. Go ahead under Actions and click Download, and it will open into a CSV file. This report will provide you with a list of all transactions credited to your chapter based on the current business rules. Donation was made to a team, event, or individual in your chapter, or the donation was made to any member of a team belonging to your chapter, or if a general event donation and the donor's billing zip code resides in your chapter. This report will show you the date of the transaction, donor name and email address, the participant, team, event, the donation was made on behalf of, and the breakdown of the transaction. Regarding the breakdown of the transaction, so TRX amount is the full amount that was paid by the donor, which could include a donation, a registration donation, additional gift, and or an add-on. The donation amount is the amount paid as a donation or as an additional donation if the transaction is part of a registration interaction. This column does not currently include mandatory registration donations, formerly known as registration fees. Reg fee amount is the amount paid as the mandatory registration donation if the transaction is part of a registration interaction. Extra gift is the additional gift made in addition to the mandatory registration donation if the transaction is part of a registration interaction. Add-ons is the amount paid if the user upgraded their shirt during registration. This revenue is not shared with chapters. Amount credited is the amount of the transaction to be credited to the chapter's total. Sum the amount credited columns to see how much your chapter has raised. You can either highlight the amount and see the total here, or go to the bottom and then click Formulas and click Auto Sum. Hit Enter and it will give you the total. So uses for this report is to see how much your chapter has raised to date for the longest day, to see a list of donors to your chapter or to the team, event, or participant in your chapter. 3, to identify who a donation was made on behalf of. I hope these reports help you have a successful longest day season. Thanks so much.